Namaskar, I'm Jonita Doda, both the presenter and director of the documentary India, the Golden Sparrow Disaster Risk Reduction. Today, I want to take a moment to share with you the journey that led to the creation of this film. It started as a conversation with a friend to do something about this topic as it requires immediate attention. As I immersed myself into the research for this 22-minute exploration, I came through a startling reality. India stands as the third most disaster prone country in the world. What began as an investigation into natural disasters evolved into the examination of the fine line between hazards and disasters and the intricate dance between natural phenomena and the human actions that transform them into calamities. The urgency of this matter struck me when I realized that even the well educated remain largely uninformed or apathetic. It's a topic that's dismissed or overlooked with the belief that individual actions won't make a difference. Yet, the reality is quite the opposite. I felt compelled to bring this topic to light and make each one of us understand that our daily choices resonate much beyond our immediate surroundings. And this isn't a topic just for researchers, it is a matter for each one of us. Before you embark on this visual journey, I implore you to recognize the gravity of our situation and understand that change begins with awareness. And every individual action is leading to global climate change. Together, let's make preparedness an integral part of our lives and work towards a safer, more resilient future for each one of us. Thank you for your attention, and I encourage you to share this documentary to amplify our collective impact.
India, with the mighty Himalayas in its north, is the seventh largest country by area and the third country in the world in terms of natural phenomena turning into natural disasters behind China and the US. India's 27 of its 28 states and 8 union territories are exposed to recurrent natural hazards such as floods, cyclones, earthquakes, landslides, and drought. Due to its geographical location, seismic risk zone, and intertropical convergence point, the Indian subcontinent faces these recurring atmospheric phenomena. The changing climate, global warming due to human activities, and high population are worsening the situation. According to a 2019 Global Climate Risk Report, flood account for 52% of the total calamities that affect India, claiming 63% of the material damage and causing 32% of human life loss. The probability of an earthquake is also very high in India, with nearly 60% of its territories being classified as moderate to very high seismic risk zone. Ironically, some parts of India face droughts that cause about 5% of material losses at the same time when there is a flood occurrence in another part of the country. The 2015 drought affected 350 million lives. In the year 2018, when we were filming in Kerala, a picturesque state in India, little did we know that our journey would soon intertwine with a devastating natural disaster. It was during the monsoon season when torrential rains unleashed their fury upon the land, triggering one of the worst floods in Kerala's history. The experience was spine-chilling as we witnessed the unimaginable power of nature and its devastating consequences. More than 483 lives were tragically lost, and the entire state was submerged in water. The scale of destruction was heart-wrenching, leaving families displaced, infrastructure damaged, and communities shattered. However, amidst the chaos and despair, Kerala showed remarkable resilience and determination. They understood that learning from past mistakes was essential to rebuilding in a way that could withstand both natural and man made hazards, minimizing the loss of life and structural damage. But looking at the flood situation in most parts of North India this July of 23, because of heavy rains and cloudbursts, it seems we haven't learned much from the tragedies in the past. Development without taking corrective measures to mitigate the risk associated with natural hazards or man made anthropogenic factors is akin to sitting on a time bomb. As societies progress and infrastructure expands, it becomes imperative to address the vulnerabilities that come with these advancements. Failure to do so can lead to catastrophic consequences when natural hazards escalate into full blown disasters or when human actions exacerbate the risk. The canvas of India's landscape, which once boasted awe inspiring beauty, now bears the tragic imprints of human recklessness, unfolding in heartbreaking scenes of ongoing natural disasters. As nature's raw power sets off tremors, floods, and landslides, our own disregard for the environment fans the flames of devastation, causing widespread suffering. This intricate connection demands an immediate overhaul of our approach to disaster risk reduction, urging us to adopt comprehensive strategies to shield precious lives, infrastructures, and ecosystems from the relentless onslaught of the present crisis. But is it actually the nature? Is a big question for all of us. In the states of Himachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Punjab, rivers that were revered as life givers now mirror our collective apathy. The once clear waters are choked with debris and pollutants, a heart wrenching testament to our neglect. The reckless dumping of waste disrupts the gentle rhythms of these rivers, forcing them to change course and wreak havoc through catastrophic floods. The gravity of the situation is magnified by water pollution, intensifying the disaster for communities residing along these now murky riverbanks. The toll of human actions on the environment is painfully evident with every loss of life and every submerged home. The stunning hills of Himachal Pradesh, a sight to behold, are now marred by rampant, unchecked urbanization. The consequences are unfolding before our eyes. The heartbreak in Himachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Punjab doesn't end at state borders. The calamity cascades from hills to plains, sparing no one in its path. Families who never expected to face such horrors now find themselves uprooted, their lives shattered by landslides and floods. The lack of preparation in these low-lying regions has turned an already dire situation into an unimaginable nightmare, with livelihoods lost, financial ruin, and unspeakable pain. Now, how do we deal with this is the big and important question. Why do these accidents happen and what is a disaster? Earthquakes, landslides, floods are not disasters. They are the natural phenomena that lead to disaster because of the structural collapses and man's interference with nature's realm. What do you think is the best gift we can give to our loved ones? Money, property, land? Well, the answer is the chance to live and live healthy. One act of kindness goes a long way. Similarly, one act of negligence leads to mass destruction. We need to focus on the cause of the disaster, which is hazard. With the rapid rate of anthropogenic hazards such as urban fires, stampede, transport and industrial accidents, terrorist attacks increasing around us, the situation is scary. Biological and radiological hazards are the upcoming threats for humanity. Dirty bomb is the latest addition to the list. We sought the expertise of the international hazmat specialists at the Cell of Natural Disaster to shed light on lesser known dangers and expand our knowledge on mitigating risks in unforeseen circumstances. So, we have been hearing a lot about dirty bomb. Can you please explain?
Actually, many a times we talk about the nuclear emergencies.
Right.
And the nuclear emergencies not just means the nuclear bomb or a hydrogen bomb.
Right.
Many a times, the terrorist can just make use of the nuclear material, put it in the powdered form, in the normal crude bomb, like plastic explosive, TNT slab, RDX, anything else.
Oh.
And they can explode that normal bomb. So what will happen there? There will be no chain reaction. There will be not the mushroom cloud of the blast. But what will happen? There will be the shock waves because of a normal bomb. But
Right.
because of this nuclear material in the powdered form, the contamination will be there all in the area and in the environment. And that contamination will be of the radiation particles. So this is called dirty bomb basically.
So, how can people save themselves from it?
So what happens most of the times that the radiation particles, they are alpha particles, beta particles and gamma rays.
Okay.
And you should not be panic. In case there is a dirty bomb blast,
Right.
a person goes there, even the police and the rescuers goes there,
Right.
they evacuate the people.
Mhm.
But what happens, those alpha particles may go inside your body through the airways.
Right.
And after that, that alpha particle will start working. There will be a multiple organic failures and the person will die anyway.
Correct.
So, but nobody will just come to know that how the person has died.
Oh.
After the test, when there will be the radiation particles found in the blood, then only one can detect that there was a radiation there. So, in case of any bomb blast, we should expect that there can be alpha particles or radioactive contamination in that. It can be a dirty bomb also.
Okay.
And here I will tell you that even the dirty bomb alpha particles, they can't even penetrate a newspaper.
Oh, that's very interesting. Not a newspaper.
Not even a newspaper. So you should always have a mask. You have heard about the appropriate COVID behavior.
Right.
Yeah. So COVID has taught us many things.
Correct.
So you should be having a mask. If you are not having any other mask, you can at least take a newspaper and put it on your face so that those alpha particles may not enter your airways. This way you can protect it.
That's a very, very good thing you have told us. We foremost need to inform our people and educate our population. Only then will we be able to communicate with them and make them understand how the smallest possible mistake made by every individual leads to a catastrophe of events. With the help of technology and awareness among people, we can combat these threats and avert disaster. India lost $80 billion in the last 20 years because of these disasters. If instead we can use these 8,000 crore dollars towards building infrastructure that is earthquake resistant, if our cities and towns are constructed with proper water outlet structures, we can escape floods or change their direction and rather use that water for the drought-struck regions of the country. We need to set up free education for all, at least until higher secondary level, for the progress of the nation in every sense of the word. We need to tell every individual in this country, poor or rich, that these efforts are crucial for not only building this nation, but in the survival of this country. Our survival instinct has to be based on two age-old proverbs. Money saved is money earned, and prevention is better than cure. So, if we invest the kind of money we lost to these disasters into our infrastructure development, planning, education, and strategizing, and prevent them from occurring, India will be the superpower. natural phenomena that can be extremely dangerous is thunder and lightning, and it is crucial for us to understand the risks they pose and take necessary precautions to safeguard ourselves. We spoke to the expert regarding the same. Thunder and lightning, can they cause a disaster?
Yeah, rather than thunder and lightning disasters, they are increasing day by days. Even there is a 133% increase in deaths caused by thunder and lightning in India.
Oh, that is alarming.
Yeah, and near about 2,500 to 3,000 people they die every year due to thunder and lightning.
My God. So, how can we save them?
So basically, the best thing is that we should have awareness regarding the thunder and lightning, and there is an app which is called Damini app.
Okay.
So
Damini.
Damini app, yeah, it has been made by IIT and has been approved by NDMA also.
Okay.
So everybody, every farmer, they should have that app in that, which can predict the happening of thunder and lightning just 3 hours before. So once you get such a type of warning signs, so we should evacuate the people from that area. And moreover, most of the time what happens when there is a rain or there is a thunders, we justly take shelter under the tree.
Right.
And trees are the more vulnerable places for lightning.
Okay, so they are more dangerous.
They are more dangerous. So we should not take shelter under the trees. Rather, we should try to go inside the houses.
Okay.
And if we are inside the vehicle, we should remain there inside it. We should not try to come out of it.
So is there any other way that you can physically understand that there is lightning possibly going to strike you?
So sometimes your body also gives sometimes of indications that your bumps will just rise up.
Okay.
And you will start feeling that something is attracting you.
Okay.
So at that time, there are chances that lightning may be striking you only. So at that time, we should take a crouching position, that we should sit down.
Okay.
With our heels up, touching each other, so that in case of any lightning or potential difference, the lightning may pass through your heels down to earth and may not cover your whole body. In this way, you can protect your body. This is called the crouching position of the body.
That's very so one can actually save.
One can save.
Even if the lightning strikes.
Even if the lightning strikes, one can save. And one should try to take the shelter inside the houses. This is the basic thing. And also, one should not use any type of taps, pipes, which are actually of the metallic material, and which may also get the current and heavy voltage at the time of lightning.
Because they are good conductors of
Because
electricity.
they are good conductors. Similar are the telephone lines also.
Oh, so one should not touch a telephone
One
line?
should not. Yeah, we should disconnect the telephone at that time.
Oh.
It may destroy the instruments also.
One of the another factor that needs to be checked early is the garbage disposal. India is a fashionable country which is housed to hundreds of textile and other units. We have to take lead by addressing mounting issues of sustainability, climate change, groundwater depletion, and efficiency. The number of green factories in textile in India is just under 20, which we need to increase. Green factories are expected to help reduce energy consumption by 40%, water consumption by more than 30%, and reduce carbon dioxide emissions further, ensuring environmental safety. In the game of man versus nature, if you want the triumph of human spirit, it would happen only with considerable planning and execution of the same. For a long time, the cause and effect relationship between disasters and social economic developments has been ignored. Development programs are not assessed in the context of disasters, neither from the angle of effect of disaster on the development program, nor from the point of whether the development programs increased either the likelihood of disaster or increased the potential damaging effects of a disaster. Disasters become worse when common people and authorities of the state, vulnerable to them, do not know how to get out of harms or what protective measures should be taken. The ignorance may not necessarily be a function of poverty, but is due to lack of awareness of what measures can be taken to build safe structures on safe location. Development is a continuous process, but with the development processes, hazards also develop, which may lead to a big disaster if not taken care. We spoke to Dr. Bhatia to obtain the best guidance on mitigating risks and to learn about the necessary precautions we should take. So, how can we save ourselves from the impact of these hazards?
See, from the time we have come into existence, we have always been surrounded by the hazards, different type of hazards.
Right.
But we have to learn to live with those hazards. We have to tame those hazards so that those hazards can be used for the benefit of mankind and not become the victim of them.
So, is it possible?
Definitely. See, water, flash,
Yeah.
that is a hazard.
Right.
But we have been able to make the dams and use that flash to run the turbines and got electricity out of it.
Correct.
Similarly, all the electricity which is around in our houses, it is a hazard, but we know how to safely use it. But once it goes out of the control of human being and we don't care about it, then definitely that hazard can convert into a disaster in the form of short circuiting and then fire disasters and so on.
So you mean to say if people are aware how to save themselves, these hazards are not going to actually turn into disaster?
Basically, maximum loss of life and property in our country is due to the lack of awareness among the common people. So it is necessary that each and every person should be given awareness regarding the hazards which are all around us and which are going to be with us all the time. So we should know how to live with those hazards. And this type of education is required in every school, college, every administrative institute, even the police organizations, and everybody from any faculty, they should learn about those hazards and how to cope up with them.
Don't you think normally people think that they are the ones, who are not going to be actually affected by these hazards, and that's the reason they don't really take any precautions that they can?
We always think that there can be war only between Russia and Ukraine.
Right.
It can happen anywhere. So it is not that we are aloof of any type of hazard. So it can happen there also, it can happen here also. So if we are well prepared, we are well aware, remember, nobody is going to die.
So we can actually save lives.
We can actually save lives.
Disasters are seen in the context of emergency responses and not as a part of development program. These practices require to change. The vulnerable areas need to be restructured to withstand any new disasters. For example, earthquake-resistant building cost only 10 to 15% more than the regular construction. The structures in the high-risk earthquake zone should avoid any heavy material on the walls. Every individual should be trained in disaster management. A lot of people lost their lives in Bhuj earthquake as they were not even aware of where to hide in such a case. In fact, the study of disaster management covering all its aspects should be part of children's educational curriculum right from the early school. The entire adult population shall be educated about the same through mass workshops that can be conducted through online and offline modes and should be made compulsory. It is very important to have city mapping to identify the high risk areas. The teams of disaster risk reduction shall be kept prepared at all times along with general public as how normally they eat 3 times a day. It should be a way of life. Early signs of warning are extremely important in mitigating the risk, and the people associated with the same should not show any kind of negligence in any circumstances. What is very important is to educate people that how important is this for their survival.